Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Makoy once again. And today, tuturuan ko kayo kung paano mag-build ng PC from start to finish, mamen. And hanggang sa malagyan natin ng operating system, yan bagong buo yung PC. As in, step by step tayo dito guys. From the tools that we will use, and then kung paano i-install lahat-lahat ng components, and basta lahat. Ganon. And bago tayo magsimula ng video na to, mamen, please hit that subscribe button and please hit that bell notification button for you guys to be updated. Yeah, wag na natin patagalin pa, mamen. Let's do this in 3, 2, 1... intro. Siyempre, bago natin simulan ang video na to, ipapakilala ko muna sa inyo ang lahat ng parts na meron tayo. So, sisimulan natin sa processor. Ang processor natin today is from AMD. This one is called the Ryzen 4300GE. The motherboard that we're going to use is the Prime B550MK. Before you go ahead and buy the processor and the motherboard, always check for compatibility sa CPU_support. The storage, I chose the Patriot SSD 120GB. For our RAM, another RAM from Patriot. This is Patriot Viper. Our hard drive for today is of course from WDC Blue. Since naka-OEM ang ating processor, binigyan na lang tayo ng libreng CPU fan ng PC Hubs. Really do appreciate that. Awesome. And of course, for us to power all of these components, mamen, our power supply for today is from FSP. It's called the Hydro K 500 watts. So as you can see, this is already 80 plus bronze certified. Ginamit ko rin to sa build ni Mrs. na naka-custom loop, and at the same time, ang cables nito is all blacks. So, all good siya sa akin in terms of aesthetic and performance. Sa PC casing natin, mamen, of course, we are going with Rock Sinaya PC case. And as you can see inside, nilagay ko na lang dyan sa loob. That's 3 120mm fans from AITC Kingsman. Goods na goods yan kasi compatible yung 2-pin LED lights niya sa 2-pin LED switch ni Rock Sinaya na kung makikita nyo dito sa taas. So bago tayo mag-building session, mamen, here are the tools that you will need to build your PC. Of course, ang pinaka-importanting tool na ginagamit sa pagbubuo ng PC ay ang screwdriver. Kung makikita mo na yung dulo is medyo pa-cross. So, yan yung kakailanganin mo for today. And mumuso screwdriver kahit 300 pesos lang nakasama na lahat-lahat. Meron mga tig 100 pesos na screwdriver. The only problem that I have with this is hindi siya magnetic. Very advisable na yung screw or Phillips screwdriver kung napipiliin nyo is magnetic yung dulo. Isa rin sa mga tool na ginagamit ko after building the PC for cable management purposes is this diagonal tool. Hindi nyo naman talaga kailangan ng ganito kasi kung meron kayong gunting sa bahay, pangkakat nyo lang naman ng zip ties, pwede nyo nang gamitin yun. Pero mas maganda pa rin to kasi meron kayong dedicated tool. So the next tool that you're going to need are these zip ties. Kailanganin nyo yan for cable management purposes. One thing that's also good to have is the thermal paste. So sa thermal paste, mamen, if you want to use a different type of CPU cooler at hindi mo gagamitin yung stock cooler na manggagaling sa isang Intel or AMD na processor, there will be rare instances na kapag kabili mo ng isang CPU cooler is walang kasamang thermal paste or walang pre-applied thermal paste na kasama. So it's best to have your own syringe of thermal paste, you know, just in case that you want to change your CPU, stock CPU into a tower heatsink, AIO, just in case na walang kasama, at least meron kayong backup. One of the things that is really important is your USB. So bago kayo mag-build ng PC, bumili na kayo ng USB na 8GB yung capacity. Kung accidentally hindi pa kayo nakakabili nito, you will need to buy one. Meron sa mga marketplace na nagbebenta ng bootable USB with Windows operating system already. So you can use that for now. Hindi natin gagawin tong bootable drive for today. We're going to do that on the next video. Kasi focus tayo sa pag-build ng PC for today. Let's go! Let's start the tutorial video for today. Okay, sa motherboard na to, meron siyang kasamang dalawang SATA cable na gagamitin natin for SSD HDD mamaya. Gawin nating patungan itong karton. So, I really do suggest that you don't use this you don't use this plastic right here. This keeps the static away from the motherboard. So, ibig sabihin, yung outer surface niya is hindi dapat mag-touch sa motherboard kasi there is a possibility that the static will go to your motherboard and can destroy your motherboard. So, yeah, for precaution, karton, motherboard, patong sa karton. That's it. So, mabuting nakatapat sa inyo yung motherboard. Okay. So, for the installation of processor, so kung tatanggalin nyo yung processor, just make sure to be careful with this kasi napaka-sensitive neto. As much as possible, I really don't want to touch the upper part because yung possible moist ng inyong mga daliri, especially kung mamawis-mawis yung mga palad-palad nyo, as much as possible, don't touch this upper part right here. Huwag na rin natin hahawakan itong part na to kasi, just go, these are very sensitive kasi these are consist of different pins, a lot of pins. Kung may mabend ka lang dyan na isa, hindi nagagana ang processor na to. That's why it's much possible. Let's do it like that. If you're using an AMD motherboard, what you're going to do is just to push it gently and then yan, angat nyo lang siya. So kung makikita nyo yung socket gumagalaw, that means that your motherboard is ready to be installed or your processor is ready to be installed with your motherboard. What you're going to do next is, may nilagay na palatandaan si AMD. So you can see that gold arrow. So you're seeing this arrow icon na nakalubog dito sa socket. So dyan natin i-align yung processor natin. So gold arrow and then gold icon. There you go. So medyo galaw nyo lang siyang konti. Wiggle nyo lang ng konti. Yan. Para siguradong secured yung mga pins sa loob ng socket. Mararamdaman nyo yung pressure kapag ibababa nyo yung socket lock. Pero that's fine kasi it means that we're just locking the processor inside the motherboard socket. And then, lock. Meron siyang parang nakausli. This is for you to be able to lock your processor in. So next, we're going to install the CPU fans to cool the processor. So before we install it, since we're going to use the stock cooler ng AMD Ryzen 3 4300GE, we will need to remove these two right here. So if it's your first time building a PC, mamen, I understand that this is a very delicate moment kasi parang feeling natin is matatanggal yung mga PCB, lulos thread yung ibang parts ng motherboard. So just wanna let you know guys na ang motherboard ay matibay. So kayang mag-handle ng certain pressure ang motherboard, well, installation pressure, para hindi matanggal yung mga components sa loob. So don't worry, just apply enough pressure kasi to remove the screws. Just wanna show you this one as well. This one is called the backplate. So laging tandaan, wag wawalain ang backplate kasi napaka-importante niyan. Next is we're going to install the CPU cooler. As you can see, meron na siyang pre-applied na thermal paste. So it means itong pinakita ko kanina na thermal paste, hindi na natin kailangan. As much as possible, wag niyong ihahalo yung thermal paste. Kung meron ng pre-applied thermal paste, then just go for it. So for me, I always prefer na nakatapat tong side na to away from the DIMM slots para hindi masyadong magkaroon ng contact from my memory or RAM to the CPU cooler. So laging nakalayo tong part na to. We're just going to align it, install it really. There you go. Perfect. Just align that. So once installed, don't move it around. So when you are screwing your CPU cooler, always put enough pressure. So naka-align na yung mga screws natin from dalawa dito sa bottom and dalawa sa taas. What you're going to do next is to screw the upper left and then bottom right. Ayan. Para magkaroon ng even distribution ng pressure kapag ini-install na ang CPU fan sa backplate. So, alright, so when screwing the screws of your CPU cooler, screw it up until na hindi nyo na siya mai-screw. Kasi, tapos after nun, itigil nyo na yung pagpihit kasi yun na yung limit. As much as possible, sakto lang dapat yung pressure na ma-apply dun sa processor. So as you can see, upper left, then bottom right. So, ganun lagi, pa-X para even yung pressure dun sa processor sa loob. So, goods na yun. Hindi na siya umikot. Na. Okay. Wala na. Hindi na maikot. Ayan, o. Next one. Saan ikakabit itong pin na galing sa CPU cooler? Usually, ang location ng pin kung saan ikakabit itong pang CPU cooler is katabi ng RAM slots or DIMM slots. Ito siya. Itong 4-pin na CPU fan. So, ang pangalan nito kadalasan ay CPU_fan. So, may label na rin yan dyan. Pero, kapag wala siyang label, always look for that 4-pin na merong lock na usually makikita dito sa taas. I-align mo lang yung part na to sa mismong part kung saan yung lock ng CPU cooler. Alright, there you go. So, malalaman nyo naman kung hindi tama pagkakalagay nyo kasi hindi nyo siya makakabit. Para hindi nakalaylay lang to sa labas kasi yung pangit naman tingnan. What we're going to do next is to lock it in here. Ayan, no, at least, diba? Medyo okay yung itsura niya. So, kung makikita nyo, as I mentioned before, kung mapapansin nyo, guys, itong AMD, kung nakalagay siya dito, babangga siya sa first slot ng RAM natin. Since we are done with the CPU fan installation, let's go to the RAM installation next. So, tatapat ko ulit dyan sa inyo para kitang-kita nyo. Yan. As you can see, this is a dual channel memory. Second and fourth DIMM slots is for your dual channel na RAM sticks. Sabihin natin na yung memory nyo is isa lang. As much as possible, kung iisa lang yung RAM ninyo, always check your motherboard for recommended memory configuration. So, since naka-dual channel tayo, second and fourth DIMM slots yung gagamitin natin. So, for the two sticks, it doesn't matter kung alin man dito yung mauunan yung ilalagay. So, that's fine. Each RAM slots, yung lock niya is dito lang sa taas. Pull it towards you. So, itong dalawa, second and fourth, yung gagamitin natin. Itong sa baba, there are motherboards na ganun din yung gagawin nyo. Pero for this specific motherboard, as in, naka-steady still na lang siya. So, that's fine. You're seeing that space right here. Meron certain position ng pagkaka-install ng RAM sa motherboard. So, hindi kayo magkakamali kung tama ba yung pagkaka-install nyo. Kasi this right here is the indication of where to put that RAM or how to position your RAM dito sa DIMM slot. If you're going to notice, there's also a gap in here in the middle. What you're going to do is you're going to align this space right here sa dito na part ng RAM. So, makikita nyo yan dyan, mamen. Sabihin natin mali yung pagkakalagay natin. Mapapansin nyo agad, hindi align yung space ng RAM. Ayan, magkakalayo sila, di ba? Since mali siya, let's turn it around. Ayan. Para mag-align yung bridge or yung gap ng RAM sa DIMM slot. As you can see. And then, push it down hanggang sa malak itong part na to. Ayan. Push it down. Do that, and then you can push this part. Yeah. There you go. So push it down until you hear a click. Pwede nyo rin pagsabayin. Everything's lined up. Pagsabayin, okay din. There you go. Pero I really do suggest to push it independently or individually. May nakita tayo nag-trending moment na sabay niyang pinush or dito niya sa gitna pinush. Yung ending is na out of balance, na bali yung kanyang RAM. So, each side, individual, is the recommended one. And so, there you go, mamen. We've already installed the RAM and then the CPU cooler. How awesome is that? How awesome is that, mamen? Awesome. Alright, rock and roll. So, next one that we're going to do is we're going to put this into a PC case already. So, yung I/O shield, usually, nung gagaling to sa motherboard box ninyo. So, makikita nyo to mismo sa loob ng motherboard box along with the SATA cables na pinakita ko sa inyo kanina. So, para hindi kayo magkamali ng lagay ng I/O shield, kung baliktad ba or tama, is bago nyo ilagay ang I/O shield or yung motherboard, is hanapin nyo muna kung saan siya magiging compatible na side. You can see the VGA and DVI port. Doon siya magla-line up. So, ibig sabihin, yung orientation ng I/O shield mo is dapat nakapaganon. Diin nyo until yung nakapalabas na part ng I/O shield malak sa PC case mismo. There we go. There you go. And, yeah. It's fully secured. Perfect! So, goods na yan dyan. Hindi na yan gagalaw masyado. And, nakalock na siya. So, make sure na naka-align yung butas ng inyong mga motherboard. Ito, itong butas na yan, mga butas-butas na yan, sa motherboard standoff ng PC case ninyo. So, makikita nyo siya dito. Yan, merong motherboard standoff dito, motherboard standoff. There you go. Perfectly aligned. So, ang screw na kailangan dito sa motherboard na to ay this screw right here. So, makikita nyo, meron siyang parang ring sa kanyang header. This is where the magnetic screwdriver comes in, becomes beneficial kasi lalagay nyo lang siya dyan. Then, nakadikit na siya sa screwdriver. Screw it sa mga holes na merong motherboard standoff. Meron dito sa baba. So, screw natin siya dyan. So, just in case na hindi magnetic yung inyong screwdriver, pwede rin naman. Pwede nyo siyang kamayin. Yan, kakamayin ko. Lalagay ko doon sa butas. Yan. Tapos, tsaka ko siya i-screw ng hindi magnetic screwdriver. Diretso nyo siya agad sa motherboard and that's it. Yan. Alright, so since na-install natin, let's go ahead and install our PSU. So, PSU na tayo, mamen. Yan, tanggalin natin yan. There you go. Your power cable. May kasama siyang power cable, di ba? Meron siyang screws pang power supply. So, later, install natin yan. So, what you're going to do next is to make sure that your power supply is facing where the hole of your PC case is. Since sa case na to, meron siyang butas dito sa baba, dito natin itatapat yung fan ng power supply natin. Para yung mangyayari is, ihigop ang fan na to papaloob ng power supply and then i-exhaust niya dito sa likod. The way siya ilagay is, you just have to put it in here. Slide it. There you go. Malaki siya. May ring siya. Pero compared sa motherboard screw, mas malaki yung ulo. Yung ulo ng screw na to. Ayan. Then, kabit lang natin siya dito. Dito. Malulubat na tayo. Then, kabit natin siya dyan. Siya. Goods na tayo. Secured na yung power supply natin. And, there you go. So, ayun na siya. Nakapabaliktad siya dito sa likod. Pero at the front, nakatamang position siya. Next one, since nakakabit na yung power supply natin, we are going to install the SSD HDD. For common installation ng SSD HDD, usually nakalagay siya sa HDD bracket. Ayan, nakalagay siya dyan, diba? Ayan, so ito yung gagamitin natin for SSD and HDD. Tatapat natin siya dyan sa inyo. There you go. Di ba? I-slide yung paglalak sa kanya. So, tanggal lang. And then, remove it. O, ayan. Wala na siya. Yan na siya sa baba. So, what's going to happen is we're going to put the SSD at the top and then HDD inside in this bracket right here. Una is yung SSD muna. SSD Patriot Burst. Alright. So, kailangan i-install muna natin yung SSD dito sa taas kasi hindi na natin may install to kapag inuna natin yung HDD sa loob. This goes to the back of the PSU shroud and then this one goes to the front, yung walang harang. So, just going to align it just like that. Mas madali kapag lalapag nyo muna siya and then there you go. align nyo lang yung butas para saktong-sakto. Ang gagamitin nating screw is same sa screw na ginamit natin doon sa motherboard. Screw it like that. Tanan, tan, tanan, tan. LSS na tayo sa sa kanta ni Macy's. Lagi niyong pinapakinggan. Blackpink ba yun? Yan. So, yan, screw lang natin. And there you go. So, you have your SSD in here. SATA ports facing out. Next one that we're going to install is the HDD. Meron ding screw holes dito sa gilid. And at the same time, merong nakaabang na parang lagayan, holder. Dito, dalawa, magkabilang dulo. Lagay lang natin sa loob to. And slide lang. Yan, no. Ang gagamitin nating screw ay yung parang normal Phillips screw lang. Ang ito, parang wala siyang ring whatsoever. Diretso ulo na siya agad ng Phillips screw. As you can see, there's no ring sa gilid. Tano, nalaglag. Kasi hindi magnetic. So it's as much as possible, guys, when handling HDD drives, you want to make sure to take care of your HDD kasi sensitive ang disk na nasa loob nito. So the more na naaalog siya, the more na nagagalaw yung parang disk sa loob. So handle it with care. There you go. So kahit 4 lang na HDD screws, okay na yon. Pero for this tutorial, yeah, let's do 6 kasi merong 6 holes. Kasi wala na tayong paggagamitan ng ganitong screw. So, ito rin yung libre. So sayang lang din, kakalat pa. So gagamitin na lang natin. Ayaw mo makuha. And there you go. And so you can see, lahat ng holes is na-screw na natin ng maayos. Back part. Alright. So, we're done with the HDD SSD shroud. It's time for us to return this to the PC case. I-align natin to ulit dun sa holes na meron ang PC case na to. Balik lang natin. Pag pasok nyo sa kanya, hold lang natin ng maigi. Nice one. Balik natin yung thumb screw na kinuha natin kanina. Everything is secured already. That's nice. Goods na tayo dyan. Next one that we're going to do is to attach these cables na manggagaling sa power supply and then sa front panel. Ito yung sinasabi nating 24-pin na ikakabit natin sa 24-pin ng motherboard. Doon tayo sa baba. Makikita nyo, this is the 24-pin cable. And kung mapapansin nyo, may nakausli siya dito sa labas, pang-lock ng 24-pin na cable galing sa power supply. Just going to align it and then lock the 24-pin. Yan. Lagyan lang natin siya. There you go. Hanggang sa maramdaman nyo yung click. So usually, makikita nyo or mararamdaman nyo na nakakabit na ang lock ng 24-pin na nanggagaling sa power supply doon sa header na 24-pin ni motherboard. Sometimes, merong label ang bawat cable ng power supply, but sometimes wala. So meron kasing kaitsura to, yun yung pang GPU to. So kung mapapansin nyo, you will see that this is the 4+4. So makikita nyo dalawa. 4+4 is for the CPU ng motherboard dito sa taas, compared sa 6+2 na pang graphics card. Though pareho silang 8-pin, this one is for GPU and this 4+4 is for CPU. Alright, so ito ang ikakabit natin dun sa taas. Similar with the 24 pin here, meron din siyang pang-lock dito sa taas. And i-align lang natin tong pang-lock ng CPU cable. Attach the cables. And wala. Ayun! Nakalock na. So, since pa ganyan siya, ganito yung magiging posisyon ng yan. So, naalala niyo yung motherboard kanina, no? Ay, yung motherboard box kung saan natin hindi kinuha yung SATA data cable. Ngayon, kukunin na natin ngayon yun kasi kailangan na natin siya, na. Ha? Saan yung samurai natin? Yung samurai. So, ayan. Okay natin. Samurai, guys. Sa Baguio ko to nabili. Pumunta kami doon nung last. Saya doon. Walang tao. So, alin ba sa dalawa ang ikakabit sa SSD? Alin yung ikakabit sa motherboard? Either. So, kahit ano dito. So, either or. Depende kung saan kayo magiging komportable. We have to make sure na yung L shape, saktong-sakto sa L shape ng SATA data cable natin. Yan, kung mapapansin nyo, may nakapa-L din, no? Yan, yun yung kakabit natin ngayon sa SSD natin. So, kabit lang, push. Same thing, kapag nalock siya, may maririnig kayong click. And then, goods na yan. Next, HDD. So, same din. Pareho din sila ng itsura. Papansin nyo, kabit lang din natin. And then, click. Yan. Ito namang part na to. So, kailangan natin kabitan ng power or SATA power cable para gumana ang SSD at ang HDD. Same din, nakapa-L shape yung space niya dito sa harap. Ayan, no, nakapa-L shape. Dulo eh. Nakabit natin to. Ayan. Kapit natin yan. Perfect. Ayan. Pangalawa. Yeah, let's do pangalawa. Kapit na natin yan. Minsan, matigas lang talaga siya. Pero, balik na natin to. Ayan. Goods na po tayo ulit. Makakabit lang natin to sa SATA 6G_1. So, put it there. And then, for the HDD, kakabit lang natin siya sa katabi. Yan. So, SATA 6G_2. Yan, para magkakatabi sila. So, ang kulang na lang is yung ikakabit natin sa front panels. Ang unang-una na pwede nating ikabit ay ang 3.0. This is a USB 3.0. Compared sa USB 2.0, mas mahaba siya and may colored label niya is, color label niya is blue. Kakabit natin yan. Yan, papansin nyo to. Dalawang indication para malagay nyo ang USB 3.0 ng tama. Itong ipin, itong naka-usling to, kailangan naka-align siya sa space ng naka-enclose sa USB 3.0 header. Or, kailangan ma-align yung walang butas na part dun sa walang pin na part ng USB header. Alright, so that's what we're going to do, is to align it properly. Kung nakikita ko dito, goods na siya, mahigpit na siya, and yeah, that's good enough. Next one that we are going to connect is this USB 2.0 pin. So same with that USB 3.0 pin, wala ring butas ang lower left ng cable na to. Yan, mapapansin nyo, ang USB header is wala ring pin. A-align lang natin yung walang butas sa walang pin. So USB, yun, saktong-sakto. Next, front panel cable is the HD audio. Now, similar din with other PC cases, makikita nyo rin to. Pero ito, ang walang butas ay medyo gitna. Yung header na to, wala ring butas sa medyo, or wala ring pin sa medyo gitna. So, dyan natin siya ilalagay. So, ayan na. Meron na tayong HD audio. So, next one is the final boss. Maliliit na kable. Ayan, medyo challenging ikabit to, lalo na kapag kakasimula mo pa lang mag-build ng PC. Merong power LED negative, power LED positive, HDD, LED positive and negative, power switch, and then reset switch. Ngayon, saan sila lahat ikakabit? Usually, may label ang header or front panel header ng motherboard. I would also recommend guys to check also your motherboard manual kasi sa manual meron doon nakalagay instructions kung paano ang magiging posisyon ng front panel na mga cables doon sa front panel headers ng inyong motherboard. So let's say walang label, ayun yung magiging palatandaan nyo, yung nasa motherboard manual mismo. Alright? This power LED positive. So, ito muna. And then, ikakabit siya sa pinakadulo. Upper left. Next one is, hanapin natin ang power LED na negative. So, kakabit lang natin sa tabi ng power LED positive. Kabit lang natin siya dyan. Next one natin is power switch. Positive, negative. Lagi lang natin hanapin. Sa likod ang may arrow sign. So, arrow sign, yun yung positive part. So, kailangan nating itabi siya sa power LED negative. Next is the reset switch. So, wala namang positive, negative to. And usually, nasa baba lang to ng power switch. So, ilalagay lang natin siya dyan. And then, next one is HDD LED. And itong HDD LED nakalagay ito sa babalan din ng power LED positive and power LED negative. Next one that we're going to do is to install the 120mm fan and guide you on how to use that LED switch. Let's go! Ang gagawin natin configuration sa fan moment is we're going to do 2 intakes here at the front, 2 intakes, and then we're going to do 1 exhaust dito. Our 120mm fan will suck air from the outside and then bring it inside in here to cool the components inside, the motherboard, the RAM, and then CPU, CPU cooler, and then GPU if meron kayo. And then that air from the inside, it will become heat, and then our exhaust here will do its job to exhaust that hot air outside. And of course, before we can actually proceed and install that 120mm fan, we have to remove the front panel. Alright. Oh my god. Actually, hanggang ngayon, natatakot pa rin ako magbaklas ng front panel kasi baka maputol. Maputol yung lock ng front panel. So, yan yung inaalala ko pa rin hanggang ngayon. So, kung kinakabahan kayo, it's normal. Ang intake part ng isang 120mm fan ay wala siyang frame, kumbaga wala siyang grill. Ayan, wala siyang grill. As in plain, diretso fan na siya agad. Diretso hélice siya ng 120mm fan. Ang exhaust, ito. So, natandaan nyo guys, this will be your exhaust. As in, merong grill dito sa harap. Alright, so time for us to install this one at the top part para sa mga motherboard. And we're going to use this particular screw na medyo malaki. And we're just going to screw it here. Yan. One of the upper part. So just remember guys, itong part na to is for the processor, RAM, and motherboard, ganyan. So screw lang natin lahat. Higpitan lang natin ng konti para mas maganda. And then dito sa baba, there are instances na hindi ko na ini-screw yung apat, yung upper left, lower right lang, no? Alright, next one is the one at the bottom. Alright, so since wala tayong GPU, dito ko lang nilagay sa baba para makool ang HDD SSD part. Pero if you have a GPU, yeah, you put that one at the middle. And what we have right now is the exhaust part. So, ang pag-screw neto is sa likod na ng PC case mismo. Alright? So, cable management part 1. Part 1? May part 2. Alright, so there you go, mate. So, ito galing to sa exhaust na 120mm. Itong nasa taas is for sa taas na 120mm fan. Itong sa baba ay yung sa baba na 120mm fan. Kukonek lang natin yan dyan. Yan. Connected na yung dalawang fan na to na galing sa exhaust and then sa upper fan na galing sa intake sa 120. Next is kukonek natin yung sa baba na fan. Here, kakabit lang natin siya dito. So, hanap tayo ng pagkakabit. Ayan, kakabit lang natin yan. And there you go. So, magkakabit na sila ulit. And then, so ayan, magkakabit na ang tatlong fan. Kung yung PC case nyo is merong LED switch, so magagamit nyo ang LED switch na yan kung ang 120mm fan nyo ay merong 2-pin na LED. Doon natin ikakabit yung LED switch na manggagaling sa PC case ninyo. So, orientation doesn't really matter. Di tulad ng 12 volts RGBs, next one that we're going to do is to connect this Molex, 4-pin Molex sa power supply na Molex din. Ito. Yan. So, the best one, yan, there you go. Yan siya. So, basically, nakakabit na lahat ng cable na kailangan natin. Alright, so after attaching all of the cables, syempre, bago tayo mag-cable management sa likod, kailangan natin i-test kung gagana ba siya o hindi. Kung magbo-boot ba siya ng walang problema or hindi. Your power supply will come with this power cable right here. Ayan. Touch lang natin. Ooh, there you go. Meron tayong UPS sa baba. There you go. So, dyan natin ina-attach ang CPU or yung system unit. Let's see. There you go. Perfect. Switch the power supply on and 3, 2, 1. Alright, so good. As you can see. Alright. May display tayo. Next step is to do a cable management first before we go ahead and install an operating system dito sa PC na to. So ito hindi natin nagamit to kasi wala naman tayong GPU. So goods na to. What I will do is I tuck this one in dito sa loob mismo ng PC case kasi meron tayong enough space for that. Yan. Saktong-sakto. Maluwag tayo dyan ngayon. O, goods na tayo dyan. Next is the SATA power cables. So, hindi na rin natin to nagamit kasi dalawa lang naman yung storage natin, SSD and HDD. Kaya, same thing. There you go. Same thing. Lagay lang natin yan dyan. Tuck in na lang, mamen. Alright, rock and roll. Ang gagawin natin, ang pinakamadali, ay i-tuck lang natin dito sa gilid yung CPU power cable since we have enough length to do so. So, goods na tayo dyan sa length part. And then, itong mga pin na nanggaling sa front panel, what we'll do is, we just have to, yan, o. O, diba? So, what we'll do is, we will start using these zip ties. Nakausling yan. That's good. That is used for your zip ties kapag magki-cable manage na tayo. Boots lang yun dyan. That. Okay. There you go. Yun. Para ma-lock natin ng maayos yung side panel mamaya. Yan. Ito na lang. Para talagang walang nakatago or nakaluwa. Ayan. Para matanggal to. Cut. And then cut. You guys will know if you actually did a good cable management routing is if you're going, you can close your side panel easily. Okay, dyan. O, diba? What I usually do, si customer yung pinapapil ko ng plastic. Because you want that client to feel the awesome feeling, you know? Kasi peeling a tempered glass is sign of tribute. Nice. Awesome. Kung accidentally hindi pa kayo nakakabili nito, you will need to buy one. Meron sa mga marketplace na nagbebenta ng bootable USB with Windows operating system already. So you can use that for now. And then kapag nakapag-release na tayo ng video about how to create your own Windows bootable USB, then you can use that as well. But for now, I really do hope na meron kayong 8GB na bootable USB with Windows operating system in it. You just have to connect the USB here dito sa 3.0. Yan. And then let's turn on your PC. Oh, taray yun. Ha? Ang lupitang RGB. Paano yun? Pwede pang palitan. Napakalakas naman talaga ng AITC Kingsman na 120mm fan. Oh, napakalupitan naman talaga. Alright, so first one, lapit tayo kasi focus na tayo dito. So, no keyboard, F1 to run setup. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so you can see this is your BIOS or UEFI BIOS utility. Naka-easy mode tayo pero we'll tweak this one later. Pero for now, what we're going to do is let's go to advanced mode. 7. Then boot. Yan, boot tayo, boot. Boot. Yan. Oh, yan. It goes directly to the SanDisk or to the USB na bootable. So, goods tayo dyan. Since na-set up na natin siya, basta kung maraming option dito, always do boot option 1 sa SanDisk na USB kung nasaan nakalagay ang Windows operating system. Then after that, save mode F10, press F10. Then, you have not made any changes to the BIOS settings. Click OK. Okay. Then, it will restart itself. Ayan na, naglo-loading na, bay. Diyos ko na, ayan, perfect. Alright, so next one that you're going to do is to, lapit tayo guys. Ayan, para kitang-kita yung mga bagay-bagay. Okay, so next one, English US. Next, install now. Yan, tapos mag-setup is starting. Goods na siya. So since wala pa tayong product key sa kabilang video na yon, I don't have a product key yet. So let's do I don't have a product key. Meron nakagawa na tayo ng video kung paano ito ma-activate. Pero for now, ito muna. Free muna yung gagamitin natin. Let's do Windows 10 Pro. Then click next. And then I accept the license terms kahit hindi pa natin binabasa. Sorry na, ang haba kasi. Yan, next. Custom. And then, there you go. So, makikita nyo dito yung 111.8 GB. So, relax. Ganyan yung normal na magiging itsura ng SSD size ninyo. And then, your 1 TB would also look like this one, 931 GB. So, i-install natin yung operating system sa SSD kasi mabilis ang read-write speed. So, next. And then, click next. Ayan na. So, copy. Getting files ready. So, hanggang 100% and tuloy-tuloy na yan hanggang finishing up. O, yan. Finishing up na. O, restarting. After nun, magre-restart na siya. Pero, pwede nyo restart now. Pero, I suggest you restarting in for 3 to 1 seconds. You let the computer or the PC do its job, you know, just automatically. So, getting ready, no? Getting ready lang din. Ayan na, nagbubot na siya. Hallelujah! So, select yes, click yes. United States yun So, US din yung keyboard layout. And then, want to add a second keyboard layout? No, not really. So, skip lang natin yan kasi I really don't need it. Okay, so for the internet, since meron tayong kadanggelan dito, pwede kayong mag-wired. Pero ako, meron pa akong kasing Wi-Fi dongle. So, ito yung gagamitin natin. Yun yung password ng Wi-Fi namin. Yung pagkakalat Hindi share basta-basta. O, yan. Connected na tayo. Set up for personal use. Yeah. Yeah, let's do offline account. You really don't, you can, kung meron kayong account sa Windows, yeah, you can. Pero since for general use, yeah, you can just use offline account. So limited experience, who's going to use this PC, yeah, good day, yan. Ito lagi ginagawa ko sa mga kliyente ko, good day lang. Para pagbukas nila ng PC, empleyado man nila yon or sila mismo, then magigreet sila ng PC rig obsession na company. Next. Wala mo ng password. But you can set up your password there. So what I always do, I turn this off, online speech recognition, find my device, advertising ID, direction weather, I don't need that. Recommendation, yan, accept. Saan tayo dyan? And then, no, I really don't need one. Let Cortana help you get things done. Yeah, I don't usually use that. Not now. But you can activate Cortana. Cortana is like your, para siyang si Siri. Pero I'm not familiar with his her full capabilities. But you can try, you know, can discover all of that. Pero hindi ko siya talaga ganun kakailangan. I prefer typing, you know. So this might take several minutes. Alright, there you go, mamens. So we've already installed Windows operating system. Alright, so let's check updates. So ito yung pinakamabilis na way to install all of the updates needed of your motherboard. So kailangan to, guys. So after the installation of OS, after mapunta nyo dito, punta agad sa check for updates na search tab. And then you will see that Windows updates and check for updates again. So what's going to happen is this device will search the motherboard, all motherboard and components na yan, magaganyan siya. So all of the device or components, kung ano yung mga kailangan i-update sa motherboard, and dito agad siya lalabas. So what will happen is everything will be downloaded, and then after that you will need to install it. There will be some instances na magkakaroon ka dito ng failed or download error. That's fine, chillax, kasi mauulit mo yan maya-maya after ma-download ng Windows yung ibang kailangan i-download. So you can see, tuloy-tuloy lang siya sa pagda-download niya. So since na-install na lahat ng kailangan, naka-pending restart na, let's try to retry this one. See if there are others that wants to, you know, install itself. And habang nag-aantay dyan, of course, what you can do is you can download Chrome using an Internet Explorer right here para mas mabilis yung browsing, download, and all of that. And then go to, close natin to. Then, after installing that Chrome, you can go to Chrome itself and then look for AMD, hold on, look for AMD 4300GE driver. And then you will be routed to the specification part or website. See this, AMD Ryzen 3 4300GE OEM only. So this is the one that we're going to need because our 4300GE is an OEM. So let's go to the driver support. And then as of this writing, ang release date ng driver natin for Ryzen 3 4300GE is happened on May 17, 2021. So you can just download that, and after downloading, it will automatically download itself and it will appear here. Ayan, lalabas na agad siya dito. So, ayan. O, ayan na. Then after natin ma-retry kanina, na-install niya na successfully, and what we're going to have to do next is to restart now. Ayan. So, pwede na natin tanggalin yung USB drive, ano? Yung bootable USB. Diba? Ayan na. King on update, 66, 73. Mabilis na lang to. Oh, yun! So, good day na tayo dyan agad. Di ba? Pagmulat ng PC mo, binati ka kaagad na good day. Kaya good day yung lagi ko nilalagay sa mga kliyente ko kasi I want them to feel good day. So, punta tayo sa downloads. Itong ating dinownload kanina na driver. Click yes. There you go. And then installation path. Gusto ko lagi nasa SSD tong driver na, drive as much as possible. There you go. Then after the installation, there will be a pop-up from AMD Ryzen software. So next is of course install. Next na tayo dyan. Yan. Yeah, you will see some flickers. Well, sinabihan, magkakaroon din naman ng pop-up na magkakaroon ng flicker. So Radeon software installation will continue after restart. Let's do that. Let's restart the PC. So sa installation ng operating system and drivers, there will be a lot of restarts that will happen. So be patient. So kalma lang guys. Motherboard for ultimate gaming experience. Gaming experience. Ganun. Ganyan talaga siya. Ganyan talaga yung process niya guys. So hindi naman siya nasisira or ano. So ayan. Restart lang natin para ma-finalize na yung buong driver installation sa ating system unit. Nagre-restart. Pero at the installation or update process ng drivers, it is normal. Pero kapag nag-restart at hindi na nag-on, it is not normal. Let's go ahead and check our Radeon software. Let's see. So as you can see here sa Radeon software natin, up to date na ang driver ng ating Ryzen 3 4300GE. So goods na tayo dyan. So pupunta tayo sa BIOS kasi we will need to configure our RAM speed kasi nakita natin naka 266 or 2666 MHz lang siya. So we will need to restart the PC and go to BIOS. So usually, what you'll do to go to the BIOS once this is off, there you go, is to click del repeatedly. Para mapunta na tayo sa BIOS. Ayun! Hallelujah! There you go. So nandito na tayo sa BIOS settings and we're just gonna double check everything from boot, from bootable, kung nagbo-boot ba siya sa 120GB. So as you can see, boot priority is already 120GB Patriot burst. So klarong-klaro siya dito. That's good. Next one that we are going to check is the memory speed. So nakikita nyo dito naka DDR4 2666 MHz. So we will need to pump that to 3200 MHz. And sana hindi magkaroon ng problem. So advanced mode is F7. So sa advanced mode, what you're going to do is to tinker your memory speed. So let's go to the AI tweaker right here. And then, target CPU speed, di na natin gagalawin yan. DRAM frequency, 2666. What we're going to do next is we're going to go to the memory frequency. Ayan, kung nakita nyo, parang profile to, no? So naka-auto siya. What you're going to do is to change that into hallelujah. 3200 megahertz. Just click that, and then what you're going to do next is to click F10 and then save, and it will restart itself again. Task manager or sa DXD sa task manager, puntahan natin. Let's see. So sa task manager, for us to see its activities, so just click more details and it will appear different tabs here at the top. So just click performance and go to memory. So sa memory, makikita nyo na ang speed natin is 3200 MHz na. So that's awesome. Of course, balik tayo sa BIOS just to make sure. Let's click advanced right here. And then let's go to memory frequency is already 3200 megahertz. Alright. So we've already configured that. And then boot. Yan. So nandyan na yung SATA. Everything's fine. So balik na tayo sa desktop. And usually, kapag bagong HDD, hindi agad nagre-register yan sa motherboard. Kung nakikita nyo guys, as in SSD lang yung lumalabas. So for your 1TB to appear here, just go to disk agad. Yan, disk. Yan. Makikita nyo siya is create and format hard disk partition. So, okay na tayo agad. Yeah. Next, ayan, makikita nyo dyan yung 1TB nyo na in-install sa motherboard na to. So what you're going to do is to just click that and then right click and then new simple volume. And then a pop-up will appear. Just click next, finish. And then voila, you have your 1TB. Okay, so meron na tayong 1TB dito and then local disk na 120GB. Alright, so there you go guys. Sana na-enjoy niyo yung building session natin today and sana may natutunan kayo ngayong araw sa akin kung paano gumawa ng PC from scratch to finish and paano i-install yung mga operating system, drivers na kailangan ng inyong system unit. And yeah, as in talagang sana may natutunan kayo. As in ginawa ko yung video na to as in to the main goal of this video is for me to teach you guys how to build a PC, for you guys to activate your Windows operating system na ginamit natin today kasi free lang yun. For you guys to activate it, just check out my description box or nilagay ko dito somewhere yung card kung paano i-activate and saan bibili ng legit na cheap Windows 10 Pro key. So just check out my description box, andun lang yun, and then just visit the card that will appear here. And yeah. So on the next video, guys, I'm going to teach you how to create your own bootable USB device. It's really easy. Thank you so much for watching up until the end. Ayun, bago ko tapusin yung video. Salamat sa panonood. As in, appreciate ko na tinapos niyo yung video na to. As in, 100%. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it with your friends, and hit the bell notification button for you guys to be updated with my next project kapag in-upload ko na sa YouTube. So I'm gonna see you again. Peace.